So I'm going to hope that everyone who's sort of attuned to USA and attuned to the Senate will be ready to sort of throw a sharp object at me if I say something wrong. But in principle, I'm going to be looking at you, Amir, for the big, like, no, don't say that. Oh, there he hides. Differentiation is the process by which the province is a concept where the province has suggested that schools specialize in areas where they're strongest in order to do them most effectively and focus less in other areas. And there's sort of different extremes of this, of move entirely to single field schools to just encouraging differentiation sort of on the lower end of the spectrum. So now that I've introduced that topic, first question to Mr. Wright is, with the new provincial differentiation policy, if Western were asked to submit 3 differentiation goals or focuses, which would you lobby for?
This is something that actually came up in our standing committee. We took a stance saying that the government should not actively pursue differentiation. And I think universities need to be diverse. So we need to not only focus on STEM fields, which are important for research, but include the liberal arts, arts and humanities, English, that kind of thing. So as far as three main aspects of differentiation, we need to focus on those fields, the STEMs and the arts, and making sure that we're being diverse and we're focusing on them all.
Thank you. Ms. Carter?
I'm going to say that I really don't agree with differentiation. I think that it's not fair to pick 3 areas because I think that limits diversity. I've been dealing with this issue a lot at the board of directors at King's, and we've been talking about, how this differentiation policy is going to affect students in the liberal arts. Unfortunately, the way it goes is that it seems that the money from the government tends to go to research-based universities. There is extreme value in getting a liberal arts education. I'm sitting here demonstrating some of the things that I have learned through that education, and it's definitely not fair for the government to be imposing a policy that would limit that in any way. So hopefully that policy won't continue. That's not something that I agree with, and if I were to be elected, I would work to end the differentiation policy from the government.
Thank you. All right, the next question from the audience is, the external portfolio stems from advocacy on the municipal, provincial, and federal levels, and entails positions of early outreach and alumni relations. On a student level, what do you plan to do with these programs? Ms. Carter?
On a student level, I think that it's always important to make sure that obviously we're relating to our students. There are a bunch of ways that we can get our students involved, and I think the best way that we can start to get our students involved is by asking them their opinion and getting them involved in the advocacy process. Amir has told me that the job of external is a little bit lonely because you're always advocating outside the university, but I think that it would be a really great initiative if we could find a program to talk to our students and to get them involved, get their interests reflected, so that we're talking and engaging with them directly. In terms of alumni, I would love to have alumni at more of our events. That definitely goes towards us making sure that we have the best student programming possible and the best student experience. That's where we need to be focused. So I'm really hoping that I can take my experience as a leader and kind of talk to the students, get them involved, and make sure that my programming isn't always so external to the university.
Thank you. Mr. Wright?
As far as early outreach go, I'd like to reiterate some things I said about early outreach rather. That mainly my priority with early outreach would be more of a financial accessibility, because it is an access issue. As far as the early outreach program goes, we need to make sure that people coming into post-secondary really know that they can, and they have the resources, and they can do it. As far as alumni goes, we can kind of connect the two. We can leverage our alumni network through the Off to Western program, actually, and we can work to do that with early outreach by coordinating with, like I said, the Off to Western program to make sure that students have the opportunity to pursue post-secondary, but more specifically Western.
Thank you. All right. Now, for those of you sitting in the audience, you might not realize, but it's acutely obvious from those of us up here. We've been up here for quite some time now, and it looks like we've exhausted all of our questions. So unless there are any objections from either of the candidates, I'm going to offer you 30 seconds to perhaps make a quick little concluding remark, and then we'll go for a 10-minute break before we get into the internal portfolios. Ms. Carter?
I'm honored to be sitting in front of you here today. I'm very excited to be running for Vice President External. I think that I've had the time to develop the skills necessary to be successful in this job. I won't take it too long, but I'm really looking forward to meeting with each and every one of you. If I am elected, my stance will be that I always want to talk to the students first. So if you guys have any specific questions for me about anything, I would love to chat with you after.
Thank you. Mr. Wright?
I'm really excited to be part of this team. Being a part of Team Belman has been a great experience so far, and I think we bring the most experience to the table. And as far as being a representative for Western, I think that's something I'm really stoked about. It's something I'm really I'm really passionate about doing with regard to advocating to all these different types of groups. So I'm just really excited that I've got the opportunity to do that. So.
All right. Thank you, and that concludes our portion of the debate. So if we could get a big hand and room round for our two candidates. All right. Just personally, thank you very much, and we will come back in about, I'm going to say 5 minutes, or USC 5 minutes, so in about actually 10.